Hi everybody, so today I'm going to be doing a review on the NIV Side Column Reference Bible Wide Margin Edition from Zondervan. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then stay tuned. So again, we'll be looking at the NIV Side Column Reference Bible. This one is the wide margin, and this one is the Premier Collection edition. So it comes in the Premier Collection box, which all of the packaging on these is really, really nice. I'm going to hold that right there so you could pause and read that top section if you would like to. One thing that I do want to point out is this one is going to have over 53,000 cross references, so that is a ton. And we'll drop down to our features. So we'll have our comfort print text, got wide margins, side column references, again over 53,000 of them. It is hand bound in a brown goatskin leather cover, sewn and edge lined. We've also got reinforced end papers for a strong durable binding. We've got art gilding as well as a gilt line and perimeter stitching, 2-color page design on premium 36 GSM European Bible paper, 3 double satin ribbons, a generous yap, raised hubs, maps, a dictionary concordance, and a 10.5 font. So lots of great features on this one. Here is our ISBN number. This one does retail for $199.99. You can find it for less online, and as always, I will have a link in the description box. Now, all of the Premier Collection Edition Bibles do come wrapped in black paper, and then they've got the seal on there. If you want to open it up without breaking the seal, then you can just pull out the paper just like that and take your Bible out and not break that seal. So that is one handy little trick. This Bible here measures out at 10 1/8 inches tall, 7 3/8 inches wide, and it is 1.5 inches thick. And I do measure to the outer edges of the covers, and if it's got hubs, I do measure to the outside edge of the hubs. So I've got brown head and tail bands, and you can see right there that we've got more of a yap than a lot of Bibles. So we've got our gilding. The gilding on there looks really nice. The brown goatskin on this is a very nice cover. So one thing with this too is I've got one that's got some just natural scarring on there, and to me that just really gives it a lot of character. It's got a really nice grain pattern. We've got our perimeter stitching, so that just looks really, really pretty. The spine on this one is gorgeous. So we've got our raised hubs, we've got Holy Bible, New International Version, and Zondervan. So that just looks awesome. If you have not seen my visual tour of this Bible, which is focusing on just the beauty of this Bible set to some nice music, I will put it in the cards to pop up right there. So we've got a very nice liner in this one. We can see our gold gilt line. It is stamped goatskin leather cover. This liner is tabbed up onto the block, but really a nice liner. The gilt line and everything on here is done very, very well. These first few pages are going to be stuck together. That is for some extra stability. Make sure you never pull those apart. We do have a presentation page. It is on a shiny paper, so make sure that your ink is dry. Then we get into our title pages, and I love the shade of blue that they used on the interior of this one. This one was printed in China, and it's going to be the 2011 version of the NIV. So I'll have our contents page, all of the books of the Bible, and then we've got them in alphabetical order. And then we've got our preface to this particular Bible, the preface to the translation, and then we get right in to the Old Testament, and I really love the shade of blue that they used in this one. So we've got our single column layout, we've got all of our cross references on the outside margin, and then we've got our wide margins. So I'm going to get you some close-ups of this shade of blue so you can see how nice that looks. I really love the way that they did this Bible. And when it's opened up, and you can see it more when we get towards the middle of the Bible, how nice the art gilding looks along that gilt line. Just an absolutely gorgeous Bible. So one thing that we're going to see right here, I'll get you zoomed in, is we're going to have some overcast stitching. So you can see those little short stitches there on the left side. So that is Overcast stitching. So the binding on this one is fantastic. So really a nice binding. I'm going to get a little bit further in here so you can see how nice that looks. Again, our font on this one is a 10.5. Now the Bible, a lot of it is line matched, but it's not completely line matched. You don't really notice it too much until you get into the poetic settings. And then you'll notice it a little bit more. But really a nice print on this one. And I did notice on this one, because there are a couple versions of the NIV comfort print, and this one here where I showed in one of the other ones where the letters on them don't touch, this one doesn't have that issue at all. So for those of you who don't like that, then this would be a good one for you. On our margins, if we measure from the text to the edge of the page, we're going to have just over 2 inches. If we go from the references to the edge of the page, it's going to be between 7/8 and an inch. So you do have plenty of space there. The inside margins are 5/8 of an inch. Now personally, I prefer it to be flipped and have the references on the inside so that the biblical text is more on the flat section, but that's just my personal preference. I know a lot of people really like this particular layout. So we're going to go in and we're going to look at our ribbons. And again, every time I have this one open, I can't help but notice, one, how nice the paper is and the print. I love the shade of blue, the art gilding, the gilt line. Everything about this one is just absolutely gorgeous. So we'll get the first of 3 ribbons. It is a double-sided satin. It is angle cut, which I like. That one's a really pretty red. And I'll get you a close-up of all 3 of these next to each other real quickly. So there are 3 ribbons. So I really like the colors on these. So we'll also look at how the psalms are laid out. So you can get a close-up of that. But a good majority of this one is line matched, but there are going to be places where I've noticed that it's not. But there's not any distractions at all when I read from this one. So here's our second ribbon. Really pretty shade of blue again, cut very well. And I just love the additions that they're coming out with. And again, we've got over 53,000 cross-references in this one. And if you're a note taker, you can see that there's a lot of pages where there's extra space. So you've got the wide margins, and you can also utilize this space as well. But just a gorgeous, gorgeous Bible. We'll look at the third ribbon, which is a pretty shade of brown. So again, really nice. This one is going to be a black letter. So we're in Matthew 25, where if it was a red letter edition, we'd see a ton of red right there. But just the colors in this one with that beautiful shade of blue, I think that that is just a really pretty color. And then we've also got that same shade of blue over here in our references. All the references are just very easy to read. Everything in this Bible is very easy on my eyes. We'll get back to the back of the Bible. So we'll get to the end of Revelation, and again, just gorgeous with that blue. I'll get you a close-up real quickly of that art gilding, because that is really, really pretty. So if you have not watched the visual tour of this one, make sure that you do. We've got our table of weights and measures. Then we get into the dictionary concordance. So we've got a double column layout. All of our words are going to be done in blue, and we still have our nice wide margins. So you can see how nice and readable that is. The concordance is going to be 28 pages. Then we get back to the back of the Bible. We do have a note regarding the type, which is done by 2K Denmark. And they're just spoiling us with all of this print quality that they do with all of these fonts. Because anything that is the comfort print, it is just such a joy to read from. I love the work that they're doing there at 2K Denmark. We will have our 7 maps spread out onto 8 pages. They'll be on the shinier paper, but everything is super, super readable. Got some more stitching there, so really a nice binding. We've got our Jesus' ministry map, which is really neat with all of the little text bubbles telling us where different things were, like the Sermon on the Mount, the Transfiguration as far as the traditional site, where he ascended into heaven. So really a neat map. We've got our 2-page spread. Then we get right back to the back of the Bible. Then we've got our pages again that are stuck together. So again, that is just reinforcement for the binding on this one. It is stamped on the liner there with the ISBN number. So again, this one is absolutely beautiful. I just love the cover on this. And mine does have some natural scars on it, which I think just gives it more character. So when you get one, you got to realize that that's an animal hide, so it's going to have some different marks and stuff on it. So I think it gives it a lot of character. I love the color. I love the raised hubs. Just everything about this one, I think it is absolutely awesome. So if this is your translation of choice and you're a note taker, this would be an awesome Bible to get. It would be an awesome Bible to gift to somebody. I absolutely love this one. So again, this has been the NIV Side Column Reference Bible, which is the wide margin, which is part of the Premier Collection from Zondervan, and I will have a link down below in the description box. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.